Considerably, wind energy is among the most upsurging sustainable energy, as stated by the Global Wind Energy Council recently. Moreover, it predicted that it would increase drastically in the coming years. Similarly, investors already fund an astounding $35 billion for offshore wind projects, specifically wind turbines. So, in today's video, get ready to be blown away off the world's biggest wind turbine. But before that, do me a favor by clicking the like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to be notified of the upcoming videos. Haliade X. March 1st, 2018, GE Renewable Energy revealed their plans of creating and promoting the development of the largest and most powerful offshore wind turbine. It would be then called Haliade X. Accordingly, GE is willing to fund more than $400 million to complete and develop the project for the next 3 to 5 years. In a statement made by the CEO of GE, John Flannery, he said that they aim to take the lead in the global energy industry and offshore wind technology. Specifically, they believe that the Haliade X program is an excellent opportunity to bring sustainable power and energy to humankind. Features of Haliade X. First, the Haliade X offshore turbine features have 14 MW, 13 MW, or 12 MW capacity, 220-meter rotor, 107-meter blade, and digital capabilities. Its height is 248 meters. It also features a 60 to 64% capacity factor, which is above the standard set by industries. As stated, each point of capacity factor is equivalent to around $7 million of returns for our customers and clients as to how the wind turbine would take to severe humanity. Since Haliade X features a bigger rotor, much longer blades as compared to typical wind turbines, and higher capacity factors, it is made to adapt to even the highest level of wind power and even on some areas with frequent hurricanes. Predictably, it could generate more power with a low speed. Updates about the project. Last July 22, 2019, GE Renewable Energy finally made the production and manufacturing of the components of the Haliade X wind turbine in Saint-Nazaire, France. The same year, it underwent its initial phase, installing the components into a Haliade MW prototype, and it is placed in land for testing purposes. This was done to ensure that the turbine would obtain its required data to be certified before being readily available in the market this year. In 2020, GE Renewable Energy pronounced that the prototype has been optimized and is now operating at a 13 MW power output. Testing is still ongoing, and the company is expecting to obtain a type certificate for the Haliade X at 13 MW in the first half of 2021. In later months of 2020, GE Renewable Energy was able to acquire a Class T certification. It was an indication that the Haliade X turbine could already be used under intense wind levels in Asia and the US. At the same time, the Haliade X prototype was placed in Rotterdam, and it was able to set a new world record by generating 312 watt-hours as it was continuously used in a day. Recently, GE Renewable Energy and Toshiba Energy Systems agreed to work hand in hand to ensure that the critical phases required in Haliade X would be obtained in Japan and give its full support to the project. They also assured investors that they would use their highest quality technology, facilities, operations, and maintenance procedure as part of their signed partnership. GE will serve as the distributors of the Haliade X components and will help the Toshiba company in cultivating the supply chain, while Toshiba will install, store, transport, provide maintenance services, and take full responsibility for Japan's sales. Moreover, it was predicted that the partnership would help to promote the offshore turbines, such as to take the lead in the auction that would take place in Japan. However, other financial terms and specific details were not yet disclosed to the public. Haliade X wind turbine was able to grant its full type certification from DNV for its 12 MW and 13 MW power rating. Because of that, it was chosen to power the 2 first phases of the Dogger Bank offshore wind farm in the UK, while the Haliade X 14 MW has been selected as the preferred technology for the third and last installment of the Dogger Bank offshore wind farm located off the coast of Yorkshire, UK. Similarly, it was also selected as a preferred wind technology for 2 major projects in the US. This will mark the first installation of the world's most powerful wind turbine in operation to date at what will be considered as the world's biggest offshore wind farm in the history. Now, let's discuss the benefits of Haliade X wind turbine. First, supply power. Before we go deeper with supply power, let us first know what capacity factors is. So, the capacity factor is used to measure the actual amount of energy generated over a period compared to the full extent that it could generate at the same time. More simply, it was defined as the amount of power that flows at a specific time. The main benefit of the Haliade-X turbine was it could generate enough capacity factors that could already supply 16,000 European households in 2 days of continuous use. Another way of looking at the benefits of wind power is through emission reduction. Since Haliade-X would not burn down fossil fuels, it's very environmentally friendly. It's also guaranteed that the energy that it will produce would be undoubtedly clean. And if we're going to compare it with the smoke of engine emission, it's like taking 9,000 cars a year off the roads or 42,000 metric tons of carbon emissions from the atmosphere. And that's just for one turbine. Imagine what it could do to the environment if it would serve as the primary power energy source. Countries with highest wind capacities. The main reason for including the countries with the highest wind capacity is to be aware of those possible investors in our most powerful, efficient, and biggest offshore wind turbine, the Haliade-X. First is China. It is considered to have the largest capacity for wind energy as it already took 288 GW at the end of 2020, and also an additional 52 GW of new power during that year, which is far more than any other country. There are over 278 GW of onshore wind in the country, while the remaining 10 GW was for offshore wind. However, as China was considered to have the world's largest wind and solar power capacity, it also requires many coals to produce electricity. Meanwhile, China is planning to retire from using coal plants. Thus, it should be a great interest to have a partnership with GE and promote the use of wind energy in the country. Second on the list is the United States, which has around 122 GW of installed wind capacity, and most of its wind turbine capacity could be found onshore. The current president, Joe Biden, has announced that they are targeting a 30 GW offshore wind capacity to be installed by 2030. It was just part of a broader plan of destabilizing the use of coal in the country. The third one is Germany, in which Europe has been a primary supplier of wind power that reached 63 GW, divided between 55 GW onshore and 7.7 GW offshore. Moreover, wind power supplied almost 27% of Germany's electricity in 2020. That was according to the trade group Wind Europe. Germany's goal was to supply 65% of all its electricity consumption from renewable sources by 2030, and to attain this goal, policymakers are planning to have 71 GW wind capacity located onshore as well as 20 GW placed offshore by the year 2030. India is currently fourth on the list of countries with the highest wind energy capacity, with all its near 39 GW located onshore. The country presently has no installed offshore capacity, although it has outlined targets to deploy 5 GW by 2022 and 30 GW by 2030. Moreover, Tamil and Nadu, which bear considerably the top two states in India that have great usage of wind power. The two were also home to the country's largest wind farm, Mupandal, and Gujarat. Lastly, Spain, a country in which has over 27 GW of installed wind energy capacity, and like the US and India, the country's industry is characterized by onshore infrastructure. Wind is the leading source of renewable power generation in the country, and in 2020, it installed 1.4 GW of new capacity. The regions of Castilla and Leon, Castilla-La Mancha, Galicia, Andalusia, and Aragon are among the most active in Spain in terms of wind power development. Spanish energy company Iberdrola recently announced ambitions to develop the country's first commercial-scale floating offshore wind project, which is intended to act as a springboard to a further 2 GW of offshore developments along the Spanish coast of Galicia, Andalusia, and the Canary Islands. Are you going to consider having offshore wind turbines in your country? If you already have, tell me the benefits of having one. I always love to hear your thoughts. Leave your comments down below, and I promise that I will find time responding. Also, please consider giving it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. I'll see you with the next one, as we will once again unleash information about the world of real estate and business. Thank you, and keep safe.